So the new season of The Kardashians has premiered on Hulu. I went on at 9 p.m. to watch.
Yeah.
Or what I thought was not, or maybe it wasn't exactly 9 p.m. because I was in and out of sleep last night. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, I thought it came out at 9 p.m.
No.
And then when I went, I couldn't watch it.
No, September 22nd.
And then I realized it was midnight. And they meant 9 p.m. California time.
Yep. I will say I watched it. If you don't want to hear about the episode, then I would suggest not listening to this. If you are worried about spoiling the first episode of The Kardashians. So I'm just going to throw that disclaimer out there right now. If you have watched it, then let's talk about it. And I think a lot of people jump on that right away on Thursday because everyone was like, whoa, this is supposed to be a very emotional, vulnerable episode. And it was all about Khloe and Tristan and the baby. And it went from starting to film, we saw all the way up to the actual birth of the baby boy in July, the end of July. So I think like now the other episodes will go back in time and like it'll be covering all the other stuff that's going on in the family. But this one was just like fully Khloe, Tristan, baby up until the birth. And it was very emotional, very hard to watch at times. I think that, they get criticized for the drama and overplaying things and the hype and everything. This was something that like very legitimately happened to them, where it's crazy to think that this is like their lives, but it is. And Khloe kind of cleared up the timeline a little bit. It was that's what we speculated about, right? It was like, oh my God, why is she having another baby with Tristan? All these things, but they were in a good place. Khloe and Tristan, things were going well for them. Apparently, Tristan really pushed for this embryo transfer to happen in like the end of November of last year. And they went through with the embryo transfer and it was successful. And days later is what Khloe said. Literally days later is when the news broke that Tristan was having another baby with another person, which is so crazy because the family's all having a conversation. They're like, Tristan really tried to almost trap her into having another baby. And he did. He was successful in doing that, which is pretty crazy.
It is crazy. And I feel like he actually is sick in the head. And I think he's very clearly using Khloe and the Kardashians because I think in his head, he's like, if I have them in my life, then I'll always be secure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, things don't work out basketball wise. At least I got the Kardashians. And I just think he's sick in the head.
Everybody's
like,
basketball career comes to an end eventually.
Right. Like, I think that's where his motives are at. And so I feel awful for Khloe. The whole thing is crazy to watch. And I feel bad, even though she does sign up to do these things and whatever. I do feel bad that she's always having to film these horrible moments in her life where it's like the cheating, then the second baby, the other baby. It's like every time something's happening, they're filming.
Hearing Kim be like, look, because they were talking about Tristan, when they were talking about Tristan being in the delivery room or being there, Kim was like, look, I mean, hate to say it, but you did it already. So like, just do it again, for the sake of the baby. And that's like, which is so crazy to think. They also we all watched last season, the phone call between Kim and Khloe where she's like telling her, and Kim says, when Kim said the line of like, doesn't this make you just like not want to have another baby with this guy? Or like, you can't have another baby with this guy. Like, remember she said like, I forget what it was exactly, but something along those lines. That was why it was a hint to like the viewer was like, oh shoot, do they know something that we don't know? And they showed afterward, which we didn't see last season, is that Khloe on the phone was like, I have to tell you something. And Kim was like, I'm filming, I'm doing a whole thing right now, like I'll take you off speaker. and took her off speaker. And then Khloe was like, we did the embryo transfer. Like, it's happening. And you see Kim's reaction of just like, oh my God. So it's really nuts. And it's just so sad because they want to celebrate. They're throwing Khloe a baby shower. They're doing all these things. But she's just, not only is she's like, this is different because I'm not pregnant, but it's just, I can't, like, kind of feeling numb to the whole situation.